I'm Dr. Sinha, and I am a pulmonary and critical care specialist. So I really grew up in San Diego, California, and my family immigrated from India in the early 60s. And my father came on an academic scholarship, and we had a very good nuclear family and pretty well-rounded background. And Mom and Dad always encouraged to take the best from the East and the best from the West. Greatest influence in my life are really my parents. My mother was very closely involved in our day-to-day lives. And my father was not so intimately involved in day-to-day life, but he gave us some very good principles. He's a very spiritual man, and he always believed that career-wise we should choose a career that would serve our community. And he did so, and we've all tried to do so as well. I began my career more on the research side with molecular biology and biotechnology. And as I was working in research with some of the clinical researchers, they encouraged that the best application of my knowledge would be with a clinical bend to it. And I started developing an interest in clinical medicine probably in my early 20s. And from then pursued it and have more closely worked in clinical medicine than in research, but do a little bit of both. Pulmonary critical care is a wonderful specialty, and it forces the physician to not only become an expert of lungs and lung diseases, but to really understand the patient in a holistic fashion. And that has to do with what the patient's personal interests are, all the way to what their wishes are at end-of-life care, which is often manifests in critical care and critical illness. So it gave me an opportunity to sort of build on my own personality of having a broad scope of the patient's health from an emotional, spiritual, and physical standpoint. My philosophy for patient care has always been a very, what I would consider a patient-centric model. So I have tried to design care plans around what is based on the specific needs of that patient and the specific wants of that patient. Two people may present with the same illness and yet want completely different ways of managing it. And I've had to become a very good listener to the patient in the time that I've developed my practice and my skill set. So very patient-centric is really the idea.